You know the drill. You want to tackle your finances to finally save some money or simply understand where it's all going. You sit down in front of a laptop ready to begin. Your concentration is at an all-time high. You start by searching for help, typing in how to get in control of your finances, and you feel empowered. You're ready to hit that enter key and start your journey towards financial freedom. But something will happen. It's just a matter of time. You will feel that rush of excitement when something unexpected happens. And this will be the moment of truth, how you react to it. Now, you might be thinking, what the hell does dopamine have to do with me and my financial success? Well, let me explain. Dopamine, the hormone of happiness and pleasure. It's like a little voice in our head that says, that could be fun, pick up the phone. Every time we experience joy or reward, whether it's through an amazing accomplishment, amazing sex, a delicious meal, or even just a cozy night in, our brains release dopamine, giving us that warm and fuzzy feeling. But here's the catch. When it comes to our finances or overall well-being, dopamine can be a bit of a wild card. On one hand, it can motivate us to chase our dreams and work towards our goals, like when we are trying to save money or improve our careers. On the other hand, it can also lead us to make impulsive or short-sighted decisions that aren't always in our best interest, which can cause major problems down the road. Let me show you an example. As soon as you're sitting in front of a PC and you have the choice to either start with your budgeting sheet to get your financials up and running, or the temptation to start something more fun, your brain will tell you to pick the one which releases more dopamine, as it knows that it will make you feel more pleasure. And when we're faced with a decision like that, it's only natural to go with the option that brings the most enjoyment. And in my case, nothing beats the joy of baking a batch of warm, gooey, freshly made cookies. But let's be honest, trying to resist the allure of dopamine is like trying to resist a cute, fluffy cat begging for rubs. It's just so darn hard. But the thing is, when our brains release a ton of dopamine, they become ravenous for more and more rewards and pleasure. And that's when bad habits starts to form. Alright, I have got some good news for you. I have discovered the secret for overcoming the feeling that we're at the mercy of our own brain chemistry. But before I share my secrets with you, I want to make sure that we're on the same page when it comes to financial success. Because there is one thing you need to understand before anything else. You need to take care of your physical and mental health first. And here's why. Dopamine plays a big role in both your physical and mental health, and it can also influence your financial decisions. And here's the key. If you want to make smart financial decisions, you need to be in control of your dopamine levels. And to do that, you need to have your life in order. That means it starts with hitting the gym for some cardio and strength training, filling your plate with nutritious vegetables, saying goodbye to fast food and unhealthy choices, and making sure to get plenty of rest. I notice myself that it's not always easy to make these changes, but trust me, it's worth it. I have made these habits a part of my daily routine, turning them into a full-blown lifestyle rather than just temporary fixes. The results have been game-changing for my overall happiness and progress, and I am sure it will also for you. And since dopamine plays such a big role in our financial decisions, there are a few things you need to be aware of all the time. Let me give you an example. Have you ever found yourself buying something you don't really need or overspending on a night out just because it felt good at the moment? So I guess you can blame it on dopamine, as we learned the chemical in your brain that encourages you to seek pleasure and reward. But don't worry, you don't have to let dopamine dictate your financial decisions, because understanding its role and taking steps to control it, you can make smarter financial choices and take control of your finances. So first, what we can do is to identify your triggers. What makes you make financial decisions you later regret? Is it, for example, boredom, stress, or social pressure? And once you know what sets you off, you can start to put strategies in place to avoid those triggers and, of course, make better financial choices. Next, set some financial boundaries for yourself. This could mean, for example, setting limits on your spendings or setting aside a certain amount of money each month for saving and investing. And especially these boundaries can help you to resist the pull of dopamine and make more financially responsible decisions. Okay, let's imagine we can control the urge for overspending or impulsivity due to the dopamine release. But what about the next big obstacle to become financially independent? Because let's be real, we have all procrastinated when it comes to tackling a task we are not particularly excited about. And when it comes to financial goals, this can be especially frustrating because you need to stick to a budget or save for a goal, but instead of getting to work, you find yourself scrolling through online shopping sites or just generally avoiding the task. And the problem here is that our brains crave the dopamine hit we get from enjoyable or rewarding activities. So when we are faced with a task that isn't as fun, like budgeting or saving, our brains don't release as much dopamine. Yeah, this is where procrastination comes in. Procrastination, yeah, that's a really hard word for German. Where procrastination comes in because our brains want to seek out activities that give us a dopamine hit. So instead of facing the task at hand, we opt for something more immediately rewarding. So how do we overcome this tendency to procrastinate when it comes to the financial goals? One thing you can try is setting small, achievable goals for yourself. For example, this can help you to give you a sense of accomplishment and reward, which can in turn lead to the release of dopamine. You can also try breaking up your task into smaller chunks and rewarding yourself after each one is completed. So that's at least what I do, and it really helps me. And in the end, it's all about finding ways to make the task at hand more enjoyable and rewarding. It won't always be easy, to be honest, but with a little effort and self-discipline, you can overcome the urge to procrastinate and make progress towards your financial goals. And last but not least, did you know that dopamine can make it difficult to take risks or make changes? It's because it encourages us to stick with familiar behaviors, even if they may not be the most productive or effective ones. So, if you're having trouble breaking out of your comfort zone and trying to do something new, it could be due to the influence of dopamine. And in terms of financial success, this can mean avoiding risky financial decisions or investments and sticking with what we know and are comfortable with. While this can provide a sense of security, it can also limit our potential for financial success. This is because financial success often requires taking risks and stepping outside of your comfort zone and pursuing new opportunities or make changes that may lead to greater long-term success. Alright, that was a lot of dopamine. It's the hormone that can make or break our financial success. On the one hand, it can drive us to make impulsive purchases, overspend and procrastinate. But on the other hand, if we understand the role it plays in our financial habits, we can use it to our advantage. In other words, if you want to achieve financial success and not just blow all your cash on avocado toast and fancy coffee, it's time to get your dopamine in check. But seriously, don't let dopamine control your spending habits and hold you back from reaching your financial goals. With a little bit of effort and self-discipline, you can overcome the urge to procrastinate and make progress towards a more financially secure and fulfilling future. Just remember, money can't buy you happiness, but it can buy you a whole lot of avocado toast. If you want to see how I controlled my dopamine level to save 10k in 1 year without any side hustle, just by leaving out a couple of daily things, check out this video here, leave a comment and like in case you like my content. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. It would really mean the world to me. See you in the next one.